All right, so here we go with the Quiz 5 study guide. Problem number 1. SQ bisects RST. That means that these two angles down here are congruent to each other. The measure of RSQ, R to S to Q, is 3x minus 9. Write an expression for angle RST. All right, this is angle RST. This big one right here. Okay? Angle R to S to T. An expression doesn't have an equal sign. So if these two angles are equal to each other, then this angle is also 3x minus 9. Well, the expression for angle RST would be 2 times 3x minus 9. All right, because it's just the sum of the two. Or just add the two together. So 3x plus 3x would be 6x. And negative 9 plus negative 9 would be negative 18. So either of those answers will work. The 2 times 3x minus 9, or just add the two expressions together, and their sum is the expression for RST. Problem number 2, name an angle complementary to COD. COD is right here. Complementary angles sum 90 degrees. All right? And if this symbol is right here, angle BOA is 90 degrees, well then this angle on the other side, the combination of DOC and COB, those two angles together are 90 degrees. So complementary to COD would be angle right here, this yellow one, COB. All right, complementary means that the two angle measures added together equals 90 degrees. Well, if you combine those two angles, you get this 90-degree angle right here. All right, problem number 3. The complement of an angle is 25. What is the measure of the angle? Complement, sum 90. Complementary angle, sum 90. So we're going to say that an angle plus 25 degrees equals 90 degrees. So subtract 25 from each side. And our angle is equal to 90 minus 25. 65 degrees. What is the measure of the angle? That's 65 degrees. All right, problem number 4. Name an angle vertical to DGE. Vertical angles. All right, look. Vertical angles. Angle 1 in this little drawing is vertical to 2. Angles 3 and 4 are vertical angles. All right, angles formed by the same two lines, but they're non-adjacent. So we're looking for an angle vertical to DGE. So we're going to find DGE, which is right here. All right, vertical to it. It's right below it. IGJ. Those two angles are vertical angles. So angle I, GJ, or you can call it angle JGI. All right, problem number 5. Angle A and B are a linear pair. A linear pair. Sum 180. A linear pair, sum 180, and they form a straight line. If the measure of angle A is equal to 3 times the measure of angle B, find A and B. All right? So we've got an angle. We've got an angle plus an angle that's 3 times bigger. So we got angle plus 3 times an angle equal to 180. So 4A equals 180. Divide by 4. And our A, our first angle, is equal to 180 divided by 4. It's 45 degrees. So the measure of angle A is equal to 45 degrees. And the measure of angle B is 3 times 45 degrees. So 3 times 45, 135 degrees. All right, problem number 6. MO bisects LMN. So MO, this ray in the middle, bisects the big angle. So we've got 2 congruent angles. The 2 small angles are congruent. LMO, 6x minus 22. NMO, 2x plus 34. Solve for x and LMN. So in order to solve for x, if these 2 angles are equal to each other, then the 2 expressions are equal to each other. So the 6x minus 22 is equal to the 2x plus 34. So I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. Four x minus 22 is equal to 34. Add 22 to each side. Four x equals 56. Divide by 4. So we get an x that's equal to 14. There's the first part of the question. X equals 14. And LMN. Well, LMN is the entire angle. So if we find one of the angle measures and multiply it by 2, it'll give us LMN. So I'm going to say here that NMO is equal to 2 times 14 plus 34. 2 times 14 is 28 plus 34 is 62. So if this angle is 62 degrees, this other angle is 62 degrees. So the measure of angle LMN is equal to 62 times 2, which is 124. So there's your value of x and your value or your measure of angle LMN. Problem number 7. Name an angle supplementary. Supplementary angle sum 180. So we've got angle COD, which is right here. So an angle that we can combine with it to sum 180. Well, we've got this straight line right here, AD. So if we combine this blue angle with it, we got a straight line, right? And a straight line, the measure of a straight line or a straight angle is 180 degrees. So name an angle supplementary to COD. That would be angle AOC. You could also call that angle COA. Now, while we're here, some people see this line immediately, this diagonal line immediately, and their eyes go to this angle, this purple angle. Purple angle plus the yellow angle, they're next to each other, they form a line, don't they? All right, so those are supplementary as well. So another 2 answers could be angle BOD or angle DOB. Problem number 8 tells you that angles 1 and 2 are a linear pair. Linear pair. They sum 180. They give you an expression for each angle, and they ask you to find the measure of each angle. So if these 2 angles added together equal 180, then x minus 39 plus x plus 61 has to equal 180. So we're going to combine like terms. We've got an x and another x. That's 2x. 39 or 39 negative plus 61 is a positive 22 equal to 180. Subtract 22 from each side. So our 2x is equal to 158. And then divide by 2. So our x equals 79. So angle 1, or the measure of angle 1, is equal to 79 minus 39. Which is 40. The measure of angle 2 is equal to 79 plus 61. Which is 140. And then again, they need to sum 180, and if you look at 40 and plus 140, it gives you 180. All right, again, MO bisects. Bisects means splits in half, right? MO, this ray right up the middle, bisects LMN. So these two angles are congruent. LMN, this big angle, so be careful here. The big angle is 5x minus 23. LMO is x plus 32. LMO, x plus 32. Find the measure of NMO. So we need the measure of this other congruent angle. The two small angles are going to be the same. But look at the equation we got to write. We got to say that 2 times x plus 32. Two of the small angles equal the big angle, which is 5x minus 23. That's your setup. 2 of the smaller angle, 2 times the smaller angle equals the big angle. So we're going to do the distributive property. So 2x plus 64 is equal to 5x minus 23. Subtract 2x from each side. So 64 is equal to 3x minus 23. Add 23. And 64 plus 23, that's 87, is equal to 3x. And then divide by 3. So 29 is equal to x. So the measure of angle NMO is equal to, we're going to use this same expression, the x plus 32. So 29 plus 32. $61 degrees. All right, problem number 10. Name an angle adjacent to. Adjacent. That means next to. Next to. Adjacent means next to. Name an angle adjacent to DGE. So DGE is right here. D down to G. Back up to E. All right, there's a bunch of angles that are next to DGE. So when you take your quiz tomorrow, it's going to be multiple choice. Just check each angle in the offerings. All right, because one angle next to DGE would be this angle right here. Angle EGH. Another angle would be angle EGJ. Another angle that's adjacent to DGE could be DGF. DGF. All right, there's lots of angles. Adjacent to. Adjacent means next to. All right, they share a side. And a vertex. They share a side and a vertex. This should be a EGJ. Any angle that you list that's adjacent to DGE has to have the G in the middle. All right, they share a vertex, so it's got to have a G in the middle. All right, problem number 11. DFG and JKL are complementary. Complementary angles, sum 90. So these two angles, x plus 5 and x minus 9, sum 90. So x plus 5 plus x minus 9 is equal to 90 degrees. So we're going to combine like terms. We're going to get 2x minus 4 equals 90 degrees. Add 4 to each side. So our 2x equals 94. And we're going to divide by 2. So our x equals 47 degrees. No, not degrees, just x equals 47. We need to find the measure of each angle. So the measure of angle DG or DFG is equal to 47 plus 5, which is 52. And the measure of angle JKL is equal to 47 minus 9. Which is 38 degrees. So those are your two angle measures. DFG, 52 degrees. JKL, 38 degrees. They're complementary. You could double check that. 52 plus 38 does equal 90. So your math would be correct. All right, problem number 12 asks you, what are 3 other names for line P? Line P is right here. Highlighted in yellow. So you can name a line with a lowercase cursive, which they did. They called it line P because of this. Or 2 collinear points. Collinear means on the same line. So we could call this line, here's the symbol for line, line BC, line CD, or we could call it line BD. Because points B, C, and D are all on the same line. And you only need 2 points to describe a line. 2 collinear points describe a line or a lowercase cursive letter. All right, hang in there. I think we just got 2 questions left, and they're short ones. Problem number 13. What are 3 names for angle? What are 3 names for the angle? This angle, we can call it angle 1. Because of the 1 in the angle. We can call it angle M because there's only one angle in this diagram, and M is the vertex of the angle. We can call it angle LMN. Or you can call it angle NML. The M has to be in the middle of the description if you're using 3 letters. All right, and problem number 14, 2 other names for angle 2. All right, so angle 2 is right here. It's this green one. We can call it angle KML, or we can call it angle LMK. We cannot call it angle M, right? M is the vertex for angle 2, angle 3, and angle LMN. So we cannot call it just angle M. We got to use 3 letters. M is the vertex, so it has to be in the middle, and then 2 other points on each side of the angle. All right, so that completes your study guide for quiz 5.